Chris, is the hype around, and I know we talked to you about him before, but he just continues to climb around J.J. McCarthy. A lot of mock drafts, and again, we take that for what it's worth, mock drafts, but moving him up to number 3. I mean, look, how high is this guy going to climb, and is the product worth the hype?
I think he'll be a top 10 pick. I think the 3 that are mentioned, JJ, and I think Michael Penix will all be drafted in the first round. For kind of what I talked about last week, the supply and demand, the importance of the position, the fact that these guys are so valuable. And I think here's the thing with JJ. JJ is more of a cerebral guy. He's got a good arm. He's not asked in that offense at Michigan to carry his team. So he's not going to have the numbers and do those things. Am I as confident in him as I am in Jaden Daniels, for example? No. But I think he's a guy that's going to be pretty good. I don't know exactly where he's going to go yet, but I think he's going to go in the top 10 because as it gets closer and closer, the teams that don't have a quarterback, what do you do? So you see, right now, the teams that are still in the quarterback race, let's see what happens in free agency. What do the Falcons do? Do they make a run at Kirk Cousins? What about Denver? Do they make a run at Kirk Cousins? Does Kirk Cousins go back to Minnesota? I mean, it just as an example. Well, what happens there, one of those teams may not be as inclined to go for a quarterback. The one that doesn't might be more inclined to go and maybe even move up to get him. So, look, could this be another situation like when the Giants took Daniel Jones? Possibly. I think JJ's better, but time will tell. I think he's going to be a top 10, top 12 pick in this draft. I do.
Chris, let me ask you this before we go to break. 40 times, when you look at like Xavier Worthy out of Texas, 4.21, breaks a record. Nate Wiggins, 4.28. I mean, there's some unbelievable times, but that 4.21, does that move a player's stock potentially up, or is it minimal or negligible? What is the value on a high 40 time, but then a record 40 time?
Well, here's the thing. To me, no one should be surprised. When we did it on LandryFootball.com, a forecast who's going to be the fastest guy, he was the guy, and the whole tone was he's going to be chasing John Ross. And could he get in the, sub 4.25s? And he did. So it wasn't a surprise. If you watch him on film, that's exactly what he is. He's a speedster. So it's not going to. It shouldn't affect him because it's what he does on film all year long. Now, he's a different type of guy. He's got some size. He's not great in the 50-50 ball. So what he is on film is what he is on film. Speedster is what I expected what he is. In terms of speed, here's the kind of the little misnomer about 40s. I'm more concerned about statistical measurables with regard to 40s or 10-yard times or short shuttles. Do they meet a certain metric? For example, if Xavier Worthy ran 4.21, which he did, or he ran 4.35, it doesn't make a hill of beans difference. Fast is fast. Okay, now, if you tell me a corner doesn't look fast on film, and he comes to the combine and he runs 4.68, Jacob, there's no corner is going to live in the NFL running 4.68. It just you can't live there. You can't survive there. So that's if you meet a certain metric, if you're a certain minimal speed, you're fine. Anything above that is gravy, or as we say in Louisiana, lagniappe. It's extra, it's great, but you shouldn't take Xavier Worthy. If you thought he was the mid first round, you shouldn't move him up and top out because he ran 4.21. That doesn't make him a better player. But he's fast, and he knew he would be fast. It's just more of, can you meet a certain metric? And there wasn't any doubt that he was going to.